are live. Good morning this morning. I am Heather Lyle, and I help business owners and entrepreneurs stay focused on what they do best while I reverse engineer their end result. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm kind of like Google Map. If you just type in your end destination, I'll give you the step-by-step directions as to how you should get there, help you avoid costly mistakes along the way, and put some money in the bank too. I mean, it's all good. But today I'm going to be talking with a dear friend of mine and colleague, Valona Michael. She has her own marketing consulting firm. Welcome. Good morning, Valona.
Good morning.
Yeah. We've helped businesses and community organizations for a long time. Like we worked together many years at this point. God, it's kind of crazy. But we've helped them grow their following, their revenues and presence, not only on social media, but in their communities as well, too. We've done a lot together over the years. But today we're going to be talking about how to leverage social media to build your business and to make more money. Does this sound good? Valona, I want you to tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and who you serve, just real quick.
Okay, well, my name is Valona Michael. I own the agency Valona Michael Marketing, or V Marketing. I have had my agency for 11 years, and it's a strategic marketing agency. So I actually work with businesses of all industries, shopping centers, districts, groups, organizations, nonprofits. And I come in with a really strategic approach that involves everything under the marketing umbrella. So you've got the branding and the social media and PR and collaborations, and website, advertise, digital, email marketing, all of it. And I actually look and I strategize how all of that fits on a calendar per se, and who your target market is and goals and things like that. So I serve, a plethora of different businesses, almost anybody really, because to me, marketing is just pretty straightforward and strategic.
Yeah. It's strategic. I mean, and that's what we're going to be talking about today is how you really do. And so many business owners, and Valona and I were talking about this before we hopped online live, that so many business owners are not strategic in their approach. So anyway, I do like to keep these training videos around 15 minutes or so. So let's just dive right in to talk about how we can make money leveraging your social media platforms. And I think the best way to talk about this is to have a conversation about what you've done to help businesses and some of the nonprofits that you've served as well too. And just talking about the strategy. And I know that you do this just often too much anyway, but so many businesses do what I call is the shotgun approach versus a rifle approach to marketing. And so hear me out on this. A shotgun bullet has just hundreds of tiny bullets within the shotgun bullet, whereas a rifle bullet is one singular bullet. And so when you shoot a shotgun bullet, that bullet just sprays everywhere. Whereas the shotgun bullet is very targeted. If there's a target, there's one bullet, one target. It's very strategic. And, I know that Valona and I have worked with so many businesses over the years. And some of these businesses just tend to, they don't have the strategy. They're just marketing to everyone in hopes that they're just going to get something out of it. And the problem with that is that I see that they're just frankly wasting a lot of time, effort, money, and frankly, just the frustration level of it all. That it's like when you market to everyone, when you do the shotgun approach versus the rifle approach, when you market to everyone, you're not really marketing to anyone. And so, Valona, I know that you know exactly what I'm talking about here. So talk to us about some examples of how you've developed a specific strategy, aligned social media marketing so that strategy and how it actually paid off in the end.
Okay, so I have to say that most of my clients all are the shotgun approach, and then they call me in or you in, right? That's why it happens.
Yeah,
they're freaking out, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, we've been doing this like kind of just last minute alert, last minute emergency type of responses, and there's no strategy, so none of it's working." And so then when you meet with them, they think that nothing worked. And so, are you able to hear me? Because I feel like I'm.
Yeah, I can. Yes.
Okay. And so I come in and I look at their social media, which usually always needs help. That's probably one of my most common services that is asked for. And here's media is social. So nobody has time because running their businesses to be social. And so what I do is I come in and I strategize and I look at their content, I look at their photography, I look at their bio. Please, can all of you just look at your bio for a second and make sure that, like, if you're a business, that your hours are on it, your phone number, your email. Like, people don't want to maybe go through your feed. They just want to look on your Instagram. It's become kind of the new website, honestly.
It really has. I have to stop you just for a second. So I'm living in a new city. I'm in Dallas, Texas. And there are so many new people who are living in Dallas, Texas on a weekly, daily basis, it seems like. And so I look at Instagram and Facebook. That's kind of my go-to first to find out a restaurant or a business that I'm interested in shopping in, to find out their hours. And when I drive my butt across town and find out that they're closed on Monday, I'm like, it would have been nice if you would have put that on your social feed, you know?
Exactly. So it's even that simple stuff. But then, you know, I do a lot of hashtag strategy. I do a lot of behind the scenes strategies. You should go out and follow everybody in the community, liking, commenting on those. I mean, really building relationships, which takes time, which is why there are people like me in business, because I have the time to do that. I have a niche. I have a way that I can get that done, and you'll see the results. I mean, I've doubled people's social media pages without paying any money. Like, just what they pay me. I'm not doing a bunch of ads. I'm not doing all that stuff. It's organic. You want the followers to be the followers in your target market or in your city. So, I mean, I could go on. Here's the other thing with social media is whenever, like PR, if you're on the news or in the paper, and sometimes they don't translate it over to social media. You know, because it's not easy. Note it. Let me just take a snapshot of this article or whatever, right? And so I think everything can be on social media, every single thing. So if that answered your question.
Yeah, you have. And I also want to talk about how, I mean, the one thing that I've learned over the course of the past year too, just, you know, being in business for myself, is businesses have got to brag about the things that they're doing well. If they have clients who are giving them awesome testimonials, who are, you know, take snapshots of that. Like, you know, if we're posting about you or just sending you a text or an email or whatever, take a screenshot, post it, tag that person, you know, grow your community. You know, I just want to digress for a quick second because I'm curious to get your feedback on this too. But, you know, I've been talking with some realtors lately, and they're like, hey, you know, we know that our, I was talking with one group in particular, and they're like, hey, we know that a lot of our referrals, our business is referral based, which is great. You know, but we know that we need to grow our network to expand those referrals, right? And, you know, my initial thought was, well, so how engaging are you on social? Are you, you know, have you determined who your ideal customer is, that ideal client is? Are you hanging out where they're hanging out? Because if you're not, and you're not engaging with them, you're probably not going to grow your network very much, right?
True. It's very, very true. And realtors have to, they're a little bit, they have to think very outside the box, because it can't constantly be this house for sale, this apartment for sale. You just can't do that. And you've got to think outside the box and get really, really creative, because like, I don't need to buy or sell a house right now, but when I do, I need to think of those specific people, right? So realtors, it's a really interesting industry, just because it keeps you on your feet. And like, for people like you and I, we have to think really outside the box for them. There's so much competition.
But you know, when it comes to building a business and making more money, putting more money in the bank, it is about growing your network. And how do you best do that? So I know that you have done an incredible job of doing that, building a network. And I want to talk about this nonprofit that you worked with. Even though, yes, it's a nonprofit, they were looking to raise dollars during a freaking pandemic, you know, and there was a lot of trepidation as to how you were going to go about doing that. Just, again, the backdrop of COVID-19 and donations and people not able to have events and, you know, all of these things impacting nonprofits who are looking to make money too, right? They've got to keep the lights on. They've got to serve their clients that they serve and that kind of thing too. So talk to me just real quick about what you did with, you know, you had no idea that you would end up making as much money as you ended up making for this nonprofit. Talk to us about that. Give us a case study on that.
Okay. Okay, so super quick. So this nonprofit is incredible. It's Restore OKC in Oklahoma City. And the goal was $20,000 to raise it on Giving Tuesday. So that's 24 hours to raise $20,000. And then Simple Modern, who's a company that is based here in Edmond, which is an incredible company, they were going to match it $20,000. So the overall goal was $40,000. And so of course I think, yeah, sure, no problem. And then the day starts approaching, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to raise $20,000? And so within my PR package I gave them, I said, I have to have your social media for at least 2 weeks. Let me take it over for a bit. And so, yeah, you get them on every news channel, which I did, got them on all the segments, did all that, and talking about it on social media, it's happening. Watch me here, watch me on this time. And then when the video comes out, make sure that the newscaster gives you the video, that you can post it later. There's just a lot of buzz. Lots of tagging, there's things like that. And so we ended up raising $68,200 in less than 24 hours. Yeah, it was amazing.
$8,000. And the goal was 40.
Yeah, it was amazing. So social media, though, was a major driving factor. I had a lot of their followers, stories, and things like that, because I knew, I could just message them all. There's just a lot of work that you have to do on the back end when you do social media. And I think people think that we just post and it's a 3-second job a day, and it's not the same when it's a business. Right. You honestly are trying to connect with people. So, so yeah, I encourage everybody to kind of relook at their social media, look at all their content, see if they need, photography or just even a strategy session, just consulting. Yeah, that can happen too. Lots of times I don't even take over the pages; I just consult with them. Right. So yeah, I mean, that was one example. That's just a nonprofit, and that was majorly, and that was PR driven. But the social media was a huge impact because I had to stay on it.
Right. So, right. Wow, that is awesome. I also just real quickly want to touch base on how business owners know which social media platforms to use for maximum exposure for their business. Because, certain industries, again, it goes back to who's your ideal client, who are you trying to serve, where are they hanging out? So can you give some examples of various businesses and organizations that you have worked with and which platforms tend to work best within certain industries or niches? Or can you speak on that at all?
Yes, so I mainly work on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Most of my restaurant clients are all 3 platforms, honestly. Twitter is probably the least with almost everybody because it's kind of a really fast-paced conversation type of a platform. But I still insist that you still have the page, you still make the posts on the page. If you can't have the conversation, that's fine, but at least you have it there because the algorithms are changing so much on each of these platforms that you might want to be on Twitter more at one point, kind of what's happening now. The Facebook algorithm is so ridiculous that you can't utilize it like you used to. And so you definitely need Instagram. Everybody needs to be on Instagram. I mean, I have construction clients on Instagram. You got to be able to make dirt look sexy, and I can do that. So, it's almost everybody just needs to be on all 3 of them. Personally, that's just how I am, and you should be posting on all 3 of them, and know that your Facebook algorithms are not helping you succeed in that platform. So you might have to do an ad here or there, or boost a post here or there if you already have a great following. But Instagram algorithms are following as well. I mean, there's some algorithms already in place, and I can see it starting to probably follow suit. But
interesting,
you get in there and start jumping in and getting that those numbers
as
high as you can right now before the algorithms hit.
Okay. Talk to me. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And engagement is a big part of that. You've got to be communicating and engaging with others in order to help with the algorithm as well too. So real quick, talk to us about conversion. Okay, when we talk about social media and leveraging social media and converting that to dollars, sales, people coming in your place, people buying from you online, whatever that might look like for your business. What are some of the best strategies that you have used to help with the conversion factor?
I have to think. So again, strategy is really important here. So whatever promotions we're putting in place for whatever a happy hour or a sale on the weekend or for the month, I have to make sure that I'm promoting that so forcefully on their social media pages that they should be able to see a different traffic. They should be able to see a little bit something in sales. It's not like it's going to be drastic. I mean, it could be depending on the promotion. But they should be able to see a little bit by, okay, we weren't really talking about it Now we're really talking about it. We did an ad, what's happening. So it's really, really important to be watching everything you're doing as you're doing it. And then you just shift your strategies based on that, what's working, what's not. And don't think that like the promotion isn't working. You just have to tweak it possibly, or the messaging could be tweaked.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean,
no, it all goes back to strategy. I mean, I just can't teach it enough. I mean, it just all goes back to I tell my clients, I'm like, what is the one result that you want to see different? What is the one thing that we want to focus on? We can't focus on a million things. We've got to focus on the one, and the strategy that we put in place needs to, everything that we do, social media, email marketing, if you're doing traditional media buys or whatever like that, it all needs to align to that one thing. So that way you can track your progress, Anyway. All right. Any final words of wisdom, Valona, before we end our little session here?
No, happy 2021. It's a new year. So this is the perfect time to look at your strategies for the entire 12 months. I do meetings with all my clients and I have 12 months literally sitting out on paper, and I do pencil the paper and we write down every dream, idea, everything that we don't know, we haven't tried yet. We put it all down and we strategize it. So that's my thing, strategize and think ahead.
Yep. And make your plan. Make your plan. I think that's why you and I get along so well. We are planners at heart. And it's very goal driven. And it's like, if you don't have something out there that you're trying to achieve, then what the hell are we doing anyway? Right.
Yeah. I love that some clients that are like, I mean, we're doing fine. I don't know that we really need a rush of people, really. I'm like, are we not trying to grow? Like, what? And so I said, you don't have to be the right client for me, because I'm ready to just get in there and just grow. I mean, what else are we doing?
Right.
So yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Valona, how can people get in touch with you or find you on social? What are your handles?
So Instagram is at vmarketing. Twitter is at Valona Michael. Okay. Facebook is Valona Michael Marketing. And I'm going to tell you, I'm very active on Instagram. Now you'll see my whole life on that page. Friends, family, eating out a lot. My stories are crazy. Like, it's just, So that's it.
Instagram is your jam. Anyway, I have loved our conversation today. You've given some really great, just golden nuggets of information that I think business owners just need to think about and figure out how they're going to strategize, implement, and execute, right? So again, thank you so much for your time today. I've totally loved it. Next week, I'm going to dive into a big topic that, oh my goodness, so many business owners, they need to be thinking about. And that is talking about how to deliver an exceptional client experience at your business. And so next Thursday, I'm going to be talking with Eden Turrentine. I'm going to have her on.
One of my favorites.
I know. And so, she does. And of course, it just comes naturally to her, that we're going to be talking about dissecting what comes naturally to her and how business owners really do need to be relationship focused and relationship driven. Because especially in these days and times where everything is shifting online and people are moving their businesses online and more virtual relationships, relationships are still critically important, especially for our small businesses too, for that matter. So we're going to be talking about that. I'm kind of excited about it. But over the next few weeks, I'm going to be dissecting down what does delivering an exceptional customer experience look like and why you need to be doing it in order to, again, see money in the bank. So, and finally, if you're not signed up for my newsletter to get all of these awesome tips that I give out every single Tuesday, drop your email or DM me and I'll put you on my list so you can get all the goodness there. In the meantime, have a great week. Thank you, Valona. And I'll talk to you. All right.
Bye.